There's a weakness destroying an entire generation of men, and it's not what you think. It's not lack of confidence. It's not being too nice. It's not even social anxiety. This weakness is so deep, so accepted, so normal that you probably think it's a strength. Dr. Jordan Peterson spent years documenting this exact phenomenon in his clinical practice, watching successful men crumble from something rotting inside them. The research from Harvard's grant study, which followed men for over 80 years, shows that this weakness is the #1 predictor of life dissatisfaction, depression, and what they call quiet desperation. But society is actively encouraging this weakness in men while calling it progress. I learned about this weakness the hard way when I watched my own father, a man I thought was invincible, break down crying in our kitchen at 2 a.m. This was a guy who built a business from nothing, raised 4 kids, commanded respect wherever he went. But that night, staring at his phone, scrolling through social media for the 3rd hour straight, he looked at me and said something I'll never forget. I don't know who I am anymore. That's when I realized that the most dangerous weakness in men today isn't external, it's internal, and it's spreading like a virus through every man who's forgotten the most fundamental truth about what it means to be masculine in a world that's trying to erase masculinity altogether. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what this weakness is, how to identify if it's already infected you, and most importantly, how to build an immunity that will protect you for the rest of your life. But first, I need you to answer this honestly. When was the last time you felt genuinely proud of yourself? You looked in the mirror and respected the man staring back at you. If you're struggling to answer that, you need to keep watching. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out future uploads. Here's what's really happening to men in 2025, and this is going to hurt if you're living it. We've been systematically trained to seek external validation for our worth instead of building internal validation through achievement. We've traded the deep satisfaction of mastery, creation, and purpose for the shallow hits of social media likes, female attention, and societal approval. We've become addicted to other people's opinions about us instead of developing our own opinion about ourselves. I call this weakness Validation Dependency Syndrome, and it's killing more men than car accidents and heart disease combined. Not literally, but spiritually, mentally. It's turning grown men into eternal children, constantly looking for mommy's approval in the form of society's acceptance, women's attraction, and peer validation. But here's how you know if you have it. You check your phone first thing in the morning to see who texted you, liked your posts, or acknowledged your existence. You make decisions based on what others will think instead of what you know is right. You feel anxiety when you're alone with your thoughts for more than 5 minutes. You've built your identity around roles, boyfriend, employee, son, instead of around your character and capabilities. Think about this. When did you last spend an entire day doing something difficult, something that pushed you, something that made you better without posting about it or telling anyone? When did you last build something, create something, accomplish something purely for the satisfaction of doing it well? If the answer is, I can't remember, then you've identified the problem. But here's where it gets really dark, and this might save your life. Dr. William Pollack's research on male depression shows that men with validation dependency syndrome are 400% more likely to experience what he calls normative male alexithymia, the inability to identify and express emotions in healthy ways. They are also 3 times more likely to develop addictions, twice as likely to fail in relationships, and 5 times more likely to report feeling like their life has no meaning. You want to know how I discovered this in myself? I was 28, making 6 figures, had a girlfriend who adored me, lived in a nice apartment, and I wanted to die. Not literally, but I felt this crushing emptiness every morning. I'd wake up, check my phone, scroll through Instagram, compare myself to everyone else, and feel like I was losing some invisible competition I didn't even understand. But then, I realized I had no idea who I was outside of other people's opinions. I'd spent so much energy crafting an image, maintaining relationships, seeking approval, that I'd never actually developed a relationship with myself. I was a stranger, living in my own body, playing a character I thought other people wanted to see. The breaking point came when my girlfriend left me, not for another guy, not because we fought. She said it was like dating a mirror that reflected what she wanted to see instead of dating an actual person. That night, alone in my apartment, I faced the most terrifying question a man can face. Who am I when nobody's watching? Most men never ask themselves this question. They're too busy asking, what do they think of me? How can I impress them? What do I need to do to fit in? But here's what successful men who command respect and live with purpose truly understand. Your relationship with yourself is the foundation of every other relationship in your life. But there's something even more sinister happening, and this is where it becomes dangerous. Social media, dating apps, modern culture, they're all designed to keep you in this validation-seeking loop. They profit from your insecurity. They make money from your need for approval. They want you addicted to their platforms, constantly seeking the next hit of validation, because that's how they sell your attention to advertisers. You've been turned into a product. Your insecurity is their business model, and the weaker you become, the more dependent on their validation you become, the more money they make. You're not the customer. You're the product being sold. Screenshot this next part because it's going to change everything. The antidote to validation dependency syndrome isn't in building confidence, it's in building competence. Try this experiment for the next 30 days. I call it the internal validation challenge. Delete social media apps from your phone. Stop asking for opinions on decisions you're capable of making yourself. Spend 1 hour every day working on a skill that nobody will ever see or applaud. Build something, create something, master something purely for the satisfaction of doing it well. And here's the key. Don't tell anyone about it. Don't post it. Don't seek recognition for it. Just do it because you decided it was worth doing. And watch how other people respond to you when you stop needing their approval to feel good about yourself. And if you're brave enough to try this, drop a comment and tell me what you discover about the man you actually are when nobody's watching. The most dangerous weakness in men today is believing that your worth comes from outside yourself. It doesn't. It never did. And the moment you remember that, everything changes. But if you want to take it to the next level, then the video on your screen is your next step. So click on it and I'll see you there.